Welcome to the part 6 of chapter 3, taken from the Bipin Chandra, the European penetration and the British conquest of India. So, in this session, we are going to take the expansion on the Lord Hastings that was taken under the 1830 to 1822. We had already discussed all the Lord Wilsey about the capturing of the region through the expansion policies like the subsidiary alliance and all. Okay, so all those things we have discussed in the part 5 lecture. Here we are going to see the expansion whatever that taken under the Lord Hastings. So the second Anglo-Maratha War that fought between the 1803 to 05 war was the second conflict that happened with the British East India Company and the Maratha. So it was like after this war, it completely shattered the power of uh, Maratha. Okay, so it was like Maratha fully went under the capture of British, and it was the Maratha was the last important ruling empire. After all, Hyderabad happened, Mysore were captured by the British and all. Okay, so it was the Maratha that was left in the last. That was the large part. That was a powerful empire as they were expert in the guerrilla warfare and all. Okay, so in this expansion, we will see that the Maratha will be fully captured by the British. Okay, fully captured by the British, and after that, they will move for the region of Punjab and Sindh, because these regions were the only untouched by them, and we will see that they will capture those regions as well. Okay, for the Sindh region, if we see Afghanistan is the known as Afghanistan is known as the soil that nobody had captured yet, and why nobody was able to capture Afghanistan, that we will see I think in the chapter 6 or 7 like that. Okay, so right now, remove this part. We'll discuss right now for the Maratha, like how Maratha ended into the hand of the British Empire, and after that they will move for the region of the Punjab and Sindh. So the second Anglo-Maratha War, 1803 to 5 war, was the second conflict between the British East India Company and the Maratha, and it shattered the power of Maratha, but not their spirits in the previous one. But they again re-attempt to attack the British, but they will lose it. They are going to lose it. The reason behind the losing of all those things will be your disunity. Okay, it will be the disunity only. So they made re-attempt to regain their independence and old prestige in 1817. So it was like they were the very important power. They were the key power in the areas, and they knew that this humilious treaty subsidiary alliance was signed by them, and they don't have any power for them. They are just as a pensioner owner for the British. So it was they only receive the pensions from the British. So British residency was attacked to regain those prestige, and also British residency was attacked by the Peshwa at the Pune in the 1870. And remember in the previous chapter we had discussed that it was the Peshwa who went to the British to join hand with them. So Peshwa and the Scindia joined together, and they fought the war with the Holkar. Okay, and when they were unable to win the war, uh, Peshwa ran to the British and joined hand with them for the subsidiary alliance. Okay, now it is the Peshwa who is going to attack the British. Okay, so it was even so when the Peshwa took the initiative to attack the British. It was right now there were three groupings together. So it was like Peshwa, Bhosle, and the Holkar. So this time they three together united. This time the Peshwa, uh, Holkar, and the Bhosle. These three were together. Holkar was the enemy at the time, but now they united together to fight against the British because they were new like what they are doing. Okay, so they fought with it, but they ultimately lose here. So Lord Hastings compelled Sindhi to accept the British suzerainty. So Sindhia at the time. So what happened? So these uh, these these uh, one second. These three were united together. So now Lord Warren Hastings, what they did, like British was alone at the time. So joined hand with Scindia. British joined hand with Scindia at the time. So that now British will have a power of Scindia as well in the fight. Now British and Scindia will fight together against whom against these three grouping, Peshwa, Holkar and Bhosle, and they will be able to won this war. So who was the Scindia? Scindia were the Scindia at Gwalior. Okay, so Scindia at Gwalior will be able to win the by the what grouping with the British. They were able to win the war. So Peshwa was dethroned and territories were annexed, and Holkar and Bhosle accepted the subsidiary forces. So it was the Peshwa who joined the hand with the British, and at the end, when he attacked the British, they completely dethroned their region. And Holkar and Bhosle was now they were asked to accept the subsidiary alliance. They did not accept it earlier. It was the Peshwa who accepted the subsidiary alliance. Now it is the Holkar and the Bhosle who are going to accept the subsidiary lines. Okay, so to satisfy Marathas' pride, the small kingdom of Satara was founded out of the Peshwa's land and given to the descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji, who ruled it as a complete descendant of the British. Like other rulers, Maratha also existed from now of the mercy of the British. Okay, so what does it mean? It is like as uh, as as they knew, like they are going to as they felt that they are going to again re-attack on the British, and how much days these thing will go. So now they thought like why we should not give the part of the Peshwa's land to the person who wanted those regions, who are eager to rule those regions. Okay, so they gave the land to the Chhatrapati Shivaji descendant to rule over the regions, but it is like just a mere puppet of the British only. Okay, so they are going to rule as a descendant of the British, and like the other rulers, now Maratha came to the end, and it came to again under it came under completely to the British. So all those regions have been captured now, and the Punjab and the Sindh region will left. As the Mysore captured, Hyderabad captured, Bengal captured, now it is the Maratha kingdom also captured. Okay, so it is like whole almost India is captured now. It is your western part, top western parts will be the regions that are not going to be that are not captured by the British. Now the British want to capture those regions only to have a connect with the Asia, that will help in the trading with those Asian regions. And another and the most important part was the uh, to check Russia attack. And the Russia wanted to enter into the regions of Afghanistan and all. So to check Russian that movement into the regions, they wanted to capture those western part, that we will see later. So the Rajputana states were dominated by the Scindia and Holkar, so these part were the regions that were given to the Scindia and Holkar to Rajputana state regions to rule the regions, but it was ultimately British was who was controlling it. So after Maratha downfall, they lack the energy to reassert their independence. They don't have the power right now. They don't have energy also to regain the independence and all, and they started to live under the British supremacy. Thus, by 1818, the entire Indian subcontinent. Remember, by the 1818, entire Indian subcontinent was captured, excepting Punjab and Sindh. By 1818, all the India was captured by excepting the Punjab and Sindh region under the British control. So part of the region was directly. So what happening with the regions that was captured by the British? So what it was like, the part of the few regions was ruling by the British, and the few and the maximum part of the region by the other rulers. But it was like under the supremacy of the British only. So the part of the region was directly ruled by the British, and other exercise the rules over whom British exercise paramount powers. It was like the British at the top. You are just ruling as a mere puppet, or for the sake, or as under the British government. Sorry. So these states were autonomous to their internal affairs, but even though British will have the acknowledgement for any action, and you know what kind of internal affairs and the power they had, they just have the wordings to say that they have the power. Ultimately, they don't have the power, because the forces that were residing under their territory, they have to pay the rent for them. It is like the renter is living into your house, and you are paying the rent to the renter only as being a owner. Other, you were suffering all the expenses, you were paying the taxes to the British, and also it is like you are doing nothing, and you are working um as a slave for the British, and you don't have any power to exercise. Okay, and British don't want to work under the administration of the people. Say they don't want any responsibility on their shoulder to serve people. So that's why it is like under the name of the people that your king, you whatever the issues we have, you just go to your king and address to them. But he won't be able to do anything because he don't have any power. They don't have any power to exercise. Okay, so that was a kind of sarcasm or irony kind of things for us. So this was all about in the part 6 of the lecture. Next we are going, after this we are going to take the consolidation of British power for the Sindh and the Punjab region. I hope you have liked this video. Please like and subscribe. This is a new channel. I really need your support. Further, I will request you to please go through all the videos serially so that you will have a complete picture of the knowledge and the chapter. Thank you.